I'm flying to Vegas to compete in the highest stakes Magic the Gathering tournament of all time. $2.5 million at Pro Tour Final Fantasy. My team and I spent a week isolated trying to break the format, and I think we found a card that no one else in this tournament will be prepared for. Unless, you know, like someone leaks it or something. This tournament is going to be You get it? The card's called Wild Ride. The name on the card is the title. It's funny. Content, baby. Content. This is Lou, and since I grew up on a farm in Connecticut, the thought of flying to Vegas by myself fucking terrifies me. So he'll be my chaperone for this trip, making sure I don't end up like dead in a ditch in Florida somewhere. I have 3 goals for this week-long trip to Vegas. First, I want to make sure that I am as prepared as I possibly can be for Pro Tour Final Fantasy. Because of the comically expensive promo cards, the prize pool for this tournament is going to be larger than any Magic tournament in history, so I need to learn as much as I can in the next 168 hours. 300 of the best players from all around the world are invited to this thing, and like every Pro Tour, it's 6 rounds of draft, 10 rounds of constructed. The format for this one is standard, and it's focused on the newest IP crossover, Final Fantasy. Hi, yes, this video took 4 months to make. I had to move into a new house and stuff. If any of you mention how late this video is in the comments, I'm just gonna kill myself. Next, I'm just gonna enjoy this week-long vacation with some of my good friends. The best part about playing competitive Magic is doing it with these people you love, even if it's gonna be like 110 degrees outside. Lastly, I need to use this event to qualify for the next Pro Tour, PT Edge in Atlanta. If I don't win at least 10 of the next 16 rounds of this Pro Tour, they won't invite me back for the next one. So I just need to do well, and if I don't, I will simply throw myself into the sea. So I'm just not gonna fucking lose. It took me over 2 years of grinding regionals to get here, so I'm gonna make this tournament count. I love playing in these events. High stakes Magic is something that every player needs to experience at least once in their life. There's a real sort of thrill to having every single match matter so much. I assume this is what crack feels like. Content, baby. Yeah.
Oh man.
Place is sick. We finally get to meet some of my teammates. A lot of the people here, like Phil, Nicole, Toothy, oh, and Lou, are friends who I've played a lot of Magic with in local tournaments around New England. They're great, mostly. But it's also a great way to spend time with people who live on the other side of the country, like my boy Min. Lou and I are the 7th and 8th people here to arrive, which means even before I have a chance to settle into my new room, we are forced into our first testing session, a booster draft.
Right. 8 times today, the only thing that matters in life is color. It is still
right.
The only thing that matters.
I was like, I really want to take this card in the back.
Not everyone has arrived to the house yet, because I guess some of us have this thing called a job? I don't know. But today's pretty chill otherwise. We finished up the draft, cooked some really nice food. This is also when I noticed that we have a pool and beers in the fridge. Now this is what a professional storyteller would call extremely subtle foreshadowing for later.
All right, it's 8 a.m. day 1, and we're about to go for the polar bear draft. Wish me luck.
The first day of competition at the Pro Tour begins next Friday at 9 a.m. sharp. So we're all waking up at ungodly hours just to mentally prepare ourselves with what Nicole calls the responsible draft. Let's see what Sam thinks about his draft deck this morning. My poor deck building has never been punished. I'm now 2-0. What's up, gamers?
Interesting. Sam, will you look at this deck for me?
Yeah.
I have a lot of good stuff.
Come over here. Content, baby.
Yeah. We've got this like Golgari deck with this beautiful late Muldrotha that we got.
Yeah, that's
so we're
hot.
stoked about that. Yeah.
I'm not in love with the Phantom Train in this archetype. I don't think it's a good blocker. I think it's good when you're trying to push your damage and sack stuff. Like the only.
So you're saying the fact that we're playing this like grindier, like Muldrotha, bring stuff back, final days kind of deck, it doesn't fit that plan.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me.
This was a really productive day 1. We finished up 2 drafts and reviewed all the winning decks, including mine from this first draft.
I didn't feel like this was a particular.
We got there.
Take
a look at this. Content.
I think the Ultimecia
Content.
is a little bit lower in my estimation than.
We spent the rest of the night hanging out by the pool, having fun, not a care in the world, until someone reminds us that we also have to play Standard. And deck registration is at noon on Wednesday. That's only 80 hours away. To make sure that I can actually win games of Standard so I don't just throw myself into the sea. I promise I will not draft until I have a Standard deck locked. So obviously we're starting the day out with another responsible draft, right? Okay, fine. Now we'll play some Standard. But first, let me show you this sick fucking deck I won the draft with today. I used Saws and this Green Earth Crystal together, both of which double +1/+1 counters to start loading way too much dice on my creatures.
Yeah, for sure.
What is that?
That's just a creature Sam has that has like 200 power.
Every single person at this house, all 17 of us, think that the best deck of choice is either Mono Red or Izzet Prowess, mainly because of these cards, Kori Steelcutter and Monstrous Rage. The deck to beat right now is Izzet Prowess, and the Final Fantasy set just gave us Vivi Ornithir, a really powerful legend that plays perfectly with what Izzet Prowess is trying to do. While most players thought that Vivi was going to break the metagame, making the best deck even better, it turns out that Vivi is just okay. Nothing too broken, just a good card. Vivi's a bit of a liability in fast matchups like the Mirror. Like paying 3 mana the opponent will just fish away for 1 mana is not a winning exchange. People already figured out that casting Monstrous Rage right after the Vivi allows you to press the Vivi button and add 4 mana immediately. But that doesn't actually let you convert any damage that turn, only building a creature that will just go away with any removal spell in the opponent's next turn. We spent most of today watching people play Izzet Prowess, Mono Red, or Izzet Prowess versus Mono Red, just like mind-numbing, brain-leaking experiences. I'm just gonna relax in the pool, have some white monsters with some white monsters, and see if I can cool off my brain a little bit. There's gotta be something we're missing. How do we make Vivi good?
I thought I was going to bed, but I can't. There's too much Magic being played.
If Nicole played me every round of the Pro Tour, she'd be a world champion.
Vivi? Wild Ride trigger. Blue, blue, red, red. Cast Storm Chaser's talent.
You have 13 currently. I'm so beyond dead. Can you make the outer hasted? Yeah. Okay, I'm dead. I'm dead. That's like 100 damage. It's not even close.
19 damage.
Uh-huh.
How does your double cutter on the playfield? Good game, sir.
That's what we call a wild ride.
So Wild Ride isn't a combat trick in the same way that Monstrous Rage is, but it does allow Vivi to attack the turn it comes down, leading to a lot of crazy unexpected kills. With this little combo, you can cast a few more spells afterwards, and you're usually attacking for like 10 or more damage on one single turn. There are rumors that some other pro teams aren't even going to register Vivi in their Izzet decks just because they haven't discovered this card yet. They're just going to be playing Drake Catchers, which was the best threat in the deck a few months ago at the regional champs in Hartford. It's a bit scary for us. We're putting a lot of time into testing this new card, but this card just does so much and pushes so much damage. I don't know, there's just a lot to think about. And I think it's now like 3 a.m. here. It's time for bed. I'm going to figure this out though. I want to play the best version of the deck that I possibly can.
Yeah, she's nuts every time. She's playing Vivi Wild Ride every turn forward, killing the other
In this game,
spot.
I drew. Good morning, bitches. Who's her text?
Okay. This one's upside down. I don't want it.
After another quick draft in the morning, we all sit down for our constructed meeting. As the looming deadline approaches way too fucking fast, it's good to make sure that we're all on the same page about what we're all playing in Standard. There's some talk of Wild Ride being broken, maybe Drake Hatcher is broken again. Magic players love calling things broken, don't worry about it. After 3 hours of non-stop focus, I mean seriously, great job focusing, Sam, you're doing great. We have just come up with a new team plan. An all-new, brilliant strategy that could win us this Pro Tour. We just need to play more Izzet Prowess mirrors. We need to figure out if Vivi Wild Ride is the truth, or if we've just wasted the past 3 days of standard testing.
No. I have no.
Do you think they'll allow me to have this like as my playmat?
Can I ask? Blow it up?
No. I just need this.
Judge, I don't remember the draft archetypes. They let me do this after
Red, probably.
Playing 2 blue and a red.
To make sure that I'm still alive at the end of this week, I need to relax a little bit, which is thankfully pretty easy when you're surrounded by friends. I feel like I say this a lot, but these tournaments and this game, it wouldn't be the same without having a group like them to always have beside me.
It's Min, the blue butt plug from the last video, remember?
There's so many like Commander content creators out there who make videos depicting competitive players as these smelly neckbeards who love pub stomping on Commander players, and it's just not true at all. This is what competitive Magic is. It's sitting with my good friend while the sun sets in front of us, playing Izzet Prowess, discussing how to beat our other friends on Mono Red. They're over there in a hot tub, and we're preparing to play in the most important tournament, probably of some of our lives. Today is the last full day of testing our standard decks before we have to lock into 75.
We're so fucked,
I've
dude.
never had so much.
So it's time to really get serious. Fuck the responsible draft. We are locked in on getting the hang of the mirror. We're all split into pairs where one person's playing Vivi Wild Ride Prowess, and the other is playing Drake Hatcher, no Wild Ride Prowess. We only have a few hours to really understand how this matchup plays out, and the results are deafening. Wild Ride is the truth.
Oh, I'm feeling good.
Good.
I think all our plans are very close.
The players who believed in this shitty little draft common were right. It pushes damage way too easily.
Feeling great. A few slots to figure out, but feel good.
At this point, there's only 2 players who are left unconvinced, and they're still playing mono red aggro.
How you feeling? Tell the camera.
My brain hurts. There's too much thinking.
But everyone else is ready to call it here. The stress is really building up tonight, and everybody can feel it. We just have to trust the process. When there's so many brilliant people working together, trying to hone in on the key points of the game that really matter, it brings so much data to the table where a pretty convincing conclusion can be drawn. We're really putting our faith into each other's work.
How you feeling?
I'm ready to play whatever everyone else plays. Oh yeah.
True. That's the group project mentality.
And that's what makes a great team, and I'm really proud of the work we did this week.
I am feeling very stressed, but I'm ready to trust the process.
I'm going to bed at 4 a.m., knowing that we put as much brain power into the deck selection process that we could.
Ryan's cooking.
Very, very wise.
Literally.
Very wise.
Literally was cooking.
We all gather around the common area in the morning, and there's a sense of calm in the house. There's no scrambling, no one wanting to make too many drastic last-minute deck changes. We did the best we could, and we have a deck that we all think is going to be a step above every other prowess deck in the room. We're all at peace.
Nicole, how do you like your deck? We broke it. As I told Lou, I think my deck is great because I made it, and therefore it's good. I built it.
You built it yourself?
All by myself.
I can't wait to go to bed.
It's 12:05. We gotta celebrate.
Amen, brother.
Let's fucking go.
This is the last full day in the house before we all go our separate ways and trek into downtown Vegas. I'm so happy I was able to spend time with this amazing group of people, but it must come to an end. The first day of Pro Tour Final Fantasy is rapidly approaching. This morning, the metagame breakdown for the Pro Tour is posted, and we all get to see exactly what everyone is playing. 42% isn't prowess. God, we feel so fucking smart right now. This is about what we all expected, and I feel pretty vindicated with all our card choices. We built this deck specifically to have an edge in the mirror, and it seems like we made the right call. The last thing I do before we leave the house is make sure to put on some sunscreen, because I am a pasty white boy who will be incinerated in the Vegas sun. And I head to my hotel room that I will be staying at for the next 4 days. We all convene in this food court to jam a few more games, and we all just want to relax, not have to think too hard tonight.
You're dead, kid.
It's nice to hang out somewhere that's not the small little gamer house before the PT party. Well, it's not that much of a party, but it's the first time that all players in this Pro Tour are together in a room at the same time. We're all here to pick up our merch and some goodie bags, say hi to some people I haven't seen in years, and fill up my bag with some Red Bulls for tomorrow.
Are these the watermelon ones? Let's fucking go. How much are these? That's 3 Red Bull, and that's it.
You have $40.
Oh, it's 40?
It's the morning of the Pro Tour, and it feels so good to be back here. I haven't played a Pro Tour since 2023, and it's just like I remember. Everyone gathers around the common area, you know, the one that's roped off so all the disgusting Pro Tour players stay put, don't escape containment. The draft portion of day 1 is finally paired at 9 a.m., and I'm assigned to pod 14. I'm just gonna walk over to my seat. Fuck. I'm instead heading to the main stage to play in the featured draft pod because someone in my pod just had to go and win the previous Pro Tour.
Hi.
Welcome.
Yeah.
What's your name?
Sambo.
Sam.
Seat 7.
It's gonna be fine. This draft is gonna go great. I put so much time into preparing for this.
Just got done with deck building. My deck kind of sucks. I don't have a lot of removal. I have some good Sultai rares. I have a nice little dragon. It's not a dragon, it's a Leviathan. Shut the fuck up. So, wish me luck, I guess. I think my deck's good. I was fighting someone for towns. I'll figure it out.
For the first round of the Pro Tour, we're playing versus a blue-red equipment deck. So the advertised archetype for these Izzet decks is big non-creatures, but my deck is about playing big creatures, so I'm able to beat them down while I take an extra turn with this Wizard Lady card. So in Limited, every card that you drafted that isn't in your main deck is your sideboard. So I look at the other 20 cards in my deck box, and I notice that they're all really fucking awful, so there's gonna be no sideboarding for me today. Let's just run it back. Now in game 2, I keep an opening hand without any green mana, and I do not find any green mana. Hell yeah. Game 3's plan looks a lot better though. A Gubu Gardener on 2 into a Gigantode on 3 is disaster for my opponent. They present a 4/3 creature to block my Big Toad and stabilize from there. Sadly for them, a combat tutorial makes my Big Toad into a 5/5 Gigantode and lets me push through the hero token holding a 4-mana stick. After round 1, I go meet up with my friends over in the PT Player Zoo area and we get to talk about our decks. Oh, and make fun of the friends whose decks are fucking awful. That part is really fun too. Like Ryan, why did you take Ristic Study at pick 6? This isn't Commander. That card's so bad. What? Now, we're playing versus another equipment deck, but this time it's red and white. There's so many double strikers and good equipment, I immediately feel the pressure here. I decided to just take the damage instead of just feeding my Gubu into the meat grinder that my opponent presented. I'm able to use some of my creatures to trade with my opponent's stuff, but his really powerful equipment spells just invalidate all my normal sized creatures, so I quickly lose. Game 2 is a slog. We're trading resources, my opponent ends up flipping another Blitzball, but a giant Leviathan is able to stabilize after a few turns. Trading my Toad and my Fenrir early means nothing when Sinspar is able to return them back for free. A really complicated final turn with extra combat steps and double striking equipment moving around is difficult, but I'm able to find the only set of blocks that lets me live and win the game. Game 3 starts with 7 minutes in the round. It's completely my fault that I don't fully understand Basic Edition, and we're off to the races. The game starts with a 1-mana flyer that also taps for mana for equipment spells. Card's usually not great, but in this specific deck, it's fucked. For the next 4 turns, the mana advantage and pressure is just way too much for me, and I fall to the Gunner's Lance. Powerful stuff. In round 3, I'm paired versus a black-white mid-range deck. Remember how I said I didn't have much removal? Yeah, removal is going to be pretty important when my opponent plays Kenrith the Returned King. I very quickly explode when they just cast good cards. After a very much needed lunch break, we are moving on to Constructed. I'm paired versus someone who worked with our team, so my opponent Abe has 2 Wild Rides in his deck. In game 1, I get obliterated by Vivi Wild Ride on turn 4, after I was forced to tap out for a stock up. In game 2, I obliterate him with a Wild Ride after he tapped out for a stock up on his turn 3. There seems to be a pattern emerging here. Game 3 is completely different, but not good. He has 2 Spell Pierces for both of my Kori Steelcutters, and I quickly run out of action. Instead of my cantrip spells generating me Hasty Monk tokens, they instead just generate Pain and Despair as I die to a pair of Swift Spears. I have not won a match since round 1, but I'm ready to turn this around. I don't know if the convention hall pizza was really that good or if I just haven't eaten in 24 hours from nervousness, but it was perspective changing and the energy is finally hitting me. I am paired versus Blue-White Omniscience combo, a really good matchup for prowess. Yeah, I'm so fucking ready for this. My opponent isn't going to know what hit. Yeah, I lost. My back is really against the wall now, 1-4. One more loss today means I'm just out of the tournament. But if I can just win the next 3 rounds, I'm in day 2 and I get to play more Magic tomorrow. And most importantly, I don't have to throw myself into the sea. You get it, but you get it. In round 6, I'm playing versus Alan on mono red aggro. I make a joke about how whoever loses is out of the tournament and will, which obviously makes things awkward. I took too much Tylenol today, I guess. But that was to my advantage, as my Vivi Wild Ride combination was too much for him. In a very unceremonious game 2, he kept a hand where his only 2 lands were a Rockface Village and a Soulstone Sanctuary, and did not find a real red source until it was too late. We are back on the board with the win. We're playing versus another red deck now. This time it's Boros Mice. Sheltered by Ghosts can be a good answer to Kori Steelcutter, but without Magebane Lizard in the main deck like Alan had, this deck falls to prowess super easily thanks to the Fish card. I am now 3-4. A win means we get to draft again tomorrow morning, and a loss means, so this is it. My opponent Max is playing Izzet Prowess, 4 Vivi, but 0 Wild Ride. I win the die roll, and I do a pretty solid job at curving out. Max fails to have the Spell Pierce from my turn 3 Kori Steelcutter into an opt. And once I have that going, I do my best to assume the control role. It's pretty easy since Max doesn't have any Swift Spears or Drake Catchers, so when the game goes on for a while, Kori Steelcutter means we are in complete control. In game 2, Max's deck gets a little better with 2 Abrades, and he's able to use both of those to control my board, not letting me run away with a Steelcutter or a Vivi in a Wild Ride. Once the game goes long, he casts like 5 stock ups thanks to Storm Chaser's talent, and I lose. It all comes down to one final game. I look at my opening hand with a Talent, Dragecatcher, Spell Pierce, Abrade, and some lands. This hand has a really good plan. We pass on turn 2, Abrade his Cutter. On turn 3, I play the Dragecatcher, Spell Pierce, and Abrade on my Hatcher. Untap, Cutter, Opt, make a Monk, Wild Ride my Hatcher, attack for 9 damage, make 2 Flying Drake tokens. you're dead, kid. The fight isn't over yet. I'm still gonna have to play just as much Magic tomorrow as I did today, and the competition is going to be even harder. My best bet is to just take it easy tonight, go out for a nice dinner with some good and new friends, and get to my hotel at a reasonable hour. The partying is for tomorrow evening.
Tripped out.
We
love Blue Commons.
Blue Commons.
I'm able to wake up early after a nice 8 hours of sleep, and I'm once again greeted by the amazing PT staff and my friends. The goal of today is not to go 6-2, which would get me enough wins to qualify for PT Edge. It's not to go 8-8 for neutral record. My goal for today is to just win as many matches as I can. Mentally, I'm giving myself no room for error. Just win your matches, dumbass. Today's draft was a little strange. I picked up 3 Magitech infantry in pack 1, along with a white Oricide and some other strong white commons. And then came a pretty late Sephiroth intervention, so I guess I'm probably in like white-black aggro. This just means I want to pick up some sacrifice enablers just to really juice up. Huh? Sephiroth? Like, that's the fastest I've ever slammed a pick before. I get some really nice rares for this archetype. Aerith is really strong with Sephiroth. I splashed red for Joshua, and I got this commander card. Its name is Timna? I don't know. I hear really annoying people on Twitter telling me how good it is, and maybe they're right. This deck looks awesome, like way better than my deck from day one. I am ready to win some games with this deck. In round 9, I'm playing versus a Golgari Graveyard deck, and I managed to flip over Sephiroth twice. My opponent, unable to mentally handle the male-presenting nipples, loses. In round 10, we're paired into blue-green stuff. This isn't a super common archetype. Usually the blue-green decks, like my deck from day one, also plays another color because they are so good at mana fixing with town support. But I don't think Joseph got that memo. He didn't need it though, because his deck was fucked up and I got crushed. Flying creatures and great blockers means I can do approximately nothing.
We love Blue Commons.
Awesome deck, but we're now 5-5. For the last round, we're playing versus a really good Boros deck. My aggressive creatures are no match for a board wipe Ultima, so we lose game 1. In game 2, I want to play a bit more carefully around the sweeper that I now know about, so I use the Timna and the Sephiroth to grind out as much value as I possibly can. I end up drawing a few cards, but Tetsu eventually finds a forest into a Balthier, a legend that gives him extra combat steps. I again lose when I get smashed by a 5/5 Magitech armor twice in the same turn. I'm now 5-6, not a very strong start to the day. In order to get the 10 wins needed to re-qualify for the next PT, I need to win the last 5 matches. It's an easy ask, let's run this shit. I'm playing round 12 versus Timothy on Mono Black Demons. You know what beats Shieldred and Archfiend? Fish. This match is all about getting underneath their large threats, and we do just that. We're 6-6. We're playing versus Matthew on Omniscience combo, and this time it goes a lot better for us. We win the die roll and can dodge a temporary lockdown in game 1. And in the post-board game, we have Spell Pierce and Negate to shut down all of his combo attempts. Matt plays an Overlord of the Mistmoors as a plan B to get around my counter magic, but his 2/1 flyers are no match for Vivi pinging him to win the game. We're 7-6. Round 14 is versus James, playing Izzet Prowess, and his list is a bit different. 3 Elusive Honor, in addition to the other threats, means that he is trying to be as aggressive as possible. He leads with 3 Prowess creatures in the first 2 turns, and I try to keep up the tempo, but his powerful Monstrous Rage protects his Footspear from my Torch the Tower, and I die from here. His sideboard doesn't seem very prepared for the mirror, so I'm still hopeful. I'm able to control the game too, start casting stock ups after stock up, while still having the mana to play Floodmaw on the same Vivi like 3 turns in a row. In game 3, I mulligan to 6, and I look at my new hand. 4 lands, Vivi, Wild Ride, Torch the Tower. It's not the greatest hand, but it has the funny card, so it'll have to do. Once again, James tries to overload the board with creatures and punish me for being on the draw, but when I find another removal spell, I'm able to slow things down. He deploys a Cutter and makes a Monk, but I draw and cast a Braid. It's now turn 5, my life total is getting pretty low, and he has a bunch of creatures in play. 1 land untapped, and 1 card in hand. I need to go for this now, or I'm going to lose the next turn. I cast Vivi into Wild Ride, hoping to use the mana to cast a stock up to find some answers, or maybe even kill him. Unfortunately for me, his last card is a Floodmaw for my Vivi. All I can do is just pass from here, where he untaps, casts stock up into Monstrous Rage, and eliminates me. This was my 7th loss of the tournament, which means I missed qualification for PT Edge. I guess the last thing I can do now is... Wait, what the fuck am I doing here? I'm already qualified for the next Pro Tour.
That's right, I've lied to and deceived all of you. 2 months before this event, I placed 30th at the regional championships in my home state of Connecticut with Is It Prowess, which was good enough for a backup Pro Tour invite. Remember when I said my only goal is to just win as many matches as possible? That's because this entire time I've been playing for AMPs. They're kind of like the old Pro Point system, where if I get 22 wins over the past 3 Pro Tours, naturally qualifying for all of them, you automatically get rewarded an invite to the next one for free. It's a great way to reward consistency instead of being forced to spike events over and over. In the last 2 rounds of the event, I lose to Alan Wu, a great player on Is It Prowess, and I beat James on Mono Red Aggro to end Pro Tour Final Fantasy with a neutral record of 8-8. 6-4 in Standard, 2-4 in Draft. Not quite what I was hoping for, but it's good enough for a lot of AMPs for next season, and I can enjoy the rest of my weekend here in Vegas with everyone. Although I don't care too much for Final Fantasy as a brand, the part that's Magic to me has nothing to do with the card art or the set symbols. It's about traveling across the world with my best friends, competing at the highest level possible, and surrounding myself with some of the smartest and most passionate people I've ever met. Thankfully, I still have one more Pro Tour in my pocket, and I'm not done yet. I love making these videos, I love playing in tournaments, so don't expect this to stop anytime soon. I'm gonna give you a little sneak peek of some of the stuff that's to come. I hope that's good enough to convince you to, I don't know, subscribe, shit like that, and I hope you enjoyed the video.
Well, here's what happened.
Magic the Gathering's Marvel's Spider-Man's.
It's Magic the Gathering Marvel's Spider-Man.
Gaming. First game. Spider-Man.
You have to give us state of the format.
Oh, this format fucking blows. This format sucks. I'm gonna kill the